Welcome back to Butterfly Effect Tarot. My name is Lorraine, and today's topic is, do you already know your future spouse? Have you already met them? So there are going to be 3 piles, and the timestamps for each pile will be in the description box in the comment section below. If the readings and messages resonate, please feel free to like and subscribe, and you can let me know in the comments if you choose. For my returning viewers and subscribers, as always, I greatly appreciate your support. For the newer viewers, if interested, you may return to the channel after this video. There are other topics, videos, and readings there as well. But other than that, let's go ahead and get into each one of your messages. Welcome to your reading pile 1 regarding, do you already know your future spouse? So I've already pre-shuffled and pulled 5 cards. We're going to identify the cards that came through, and then we will go ahead and get into the reading. So the first card out is the Four of Wands, followed by the Eight of Wands, and then we have the King of Wands, followed by the Six of Cups. And then the final card out is the Eight of Cups. Bottom of the deck energy is the Nine of Pentacles. So really quickly, it does not matter if you're male or female, masculine or feminine energy, the messages should apply no matter what. For this specific reading, I'm going to essentially also say this really quickly. Please always follow your own intuition and inner guidance. You know your situation better than I do, especially because this is a general reading, not a one-on-one reading. So many of you will be drawn to this and it will unfold or mean something different to each of you. Now, when we look at these cards, for a majority of you, if not all of you, yes, you already know your future spouse, okay? Now, the way that you know them could be a little bit different. That's why I said I feel like it may be quite a few of you drawn to this reading. For some of you, this is somebody you could have once worked with, and there was a kind of intense, passionate attraction there. There could have been some chemistry. This could have been somebody that you had maybe a friends with benefits with. For others of you, you could have dated this person or even been married to them. Okay, with the Four of Wands, you could have already had a home and a family with this person. But for others of you, this was like a friend. With the Four of Wands also represents a community. And essentially with the Six of Cups and the Eight of Cups, however this situation aligns with you, there was an ending, right? Somebody could have moved away and relocated. There could have been a divorce, there could have been a breakup, you could have left the job if this is someone you worked with. But either way, with this Eight of Cups coming out after the Six of Cups, this is like a past energy that you essentially have moved away, or they moved away from you. And it could have been painful, right? For some of you where this was a breakup, or even where this was a friend that you left, or that, moved away for work or what have you, this was still something that could have hurt on some level, right? This could be something that caused you to move into a Nine of Pentacles, which is at the bottom of the deck, where then you started focusing your energy on yourself. You started really taking care of your health. You started really investing in you, really building and focusing on building your own empire, or you could be in that energy as we speak. But essentially with these cards coming out, this is definitely a connection where there's a lot of deep desire. No matter whether this is somebody you've dated, an old friend, or somebody you once worked with, there's deep, passionate intensity here. Like you would feel this. There's no way to avoid this type of energy. This is definitely somebody where if you guys were intimate, this is a situation where neither of you have ever forgotten. And chances are neither of you have ever encountered anyone else who can kind of bring up this overwhelming sense of desire in you. But definitely something very deep here. And I do want to also note this before we move forward into the message even further. The Star card and the World card did show themselves. So the World card is about the completion of a cycle, right? It's, to me, also something that can signify like something that's destined to kind of end and maybe have a new beginning, especially in a situation where it ended painfully. The Star card is also about divine guidance. It's about renewal, rejuvenation. It's about something that is being protected in a sense, spiritual protection. So I do feel like for this group, if especially for those of you where this is somebody where you did end, they could have been promiscuous with this King of Wands. They could have had a lot of suitors. This is more than likely somebody that is very attractive, very sexy, somebody who does maybe attract a lot of attention. With the Lovers coming out and the clarifying cards that we pulled after the fact, this means that both of you are kind of maybe mirroring each other. There could be an energy here where you both are attractive, but this person's energy kind of feels like somebody who was a bit impulsive, maybe a bit lacking in stability when it came to actually settling down. Maybe somebody who wanted to explore their options, or again, if this is just a friend or somebody that moved away or you moved away, this is somebody who wanted to pursue their dreams and goals and they were not as focused on settling down or focusing on this connection. And I do feel like essentially that triggered you into also focusing on yourself either way. So you could have went through a glow up after this situation. You could have, especially in your finances and your career, you could have maybe changed the way you eat. You could have changed your entire lifestyle, became more disciplined. Maybe if this was like a extremely heart-wrenching experience, you focused all of that energy into other aspects of your life as a means to heal and kind of get through it. Now, when we go into the clarifying cards, we pulled from another deck and we pulled 5 cards. Now, the first card out was again the Nine of Pentacles. And then the Ten of Cups, the Lovers, the Four of Cups, and then the Ace of Cups. Bottom of the deck energy for that one was the Knight of Swords. So with the Four of Cups and the Ace of Cups coming out at the end of the clarifying cards, the Four of Cups is where you are kind of detached, right? You've pulled your energy back, you're uninterested, you're kind of nursing a broken heart. You know, you're not really interested in love or interested in love with this person, because with the Lovers coming out at the center of the read there and then the Four of Cups coming out, this is again you pulling your energy back from this person. Yeah, for most of you, you've been with this person before on some level of intimacy or romance. And I feel like you lost interest in this connection and this person. There's a distrust there for some of you. And then the Ace of Cups, yeah, but it's again a new beginning in this connection. There's a new offer, a better offer with the Knight of Swords at the bottom. Yeah, this person's gonna be coming in based on these cards, and they're gonna want to fight for this. Because the Knight of Swords this is inspired action. This is somebody who is determined to win, in this case, win over, the person they love. So if this person was at fault for how this ended, or if this person, up and left to pursue their goals and dreams rather than staying and pursuing this connection, this person's going to come in very swiftly when they do decide to come in, and they are going to make an offer. And I do feel like for quite a few of you, you're not going to want to accept this offer, or there will be an energy of maybe being distrustful towards this person. But I feel like this is destined with the Ten of Cups. Yeah. And mind you, you go from the Nine of Pentacles again here into the Ten of Cups. So again, this is the energy of you being focused on yourself, you focusing on building your own independent empire, your own legacy, building your own business or your own creative endeavors, really just enjoying the finer things in life and really enjoying your own company and all that you have built for yourself. And then the Ten of Cups comes in. Again, this is with the Lovers. This is a connection that is meant to come together. Now, how it ended or how you two went, separated, it's going to depend on each of you. Even if this is you leaving a job where you had this attraction to this person and it was never explored, especially with the Nine of Pentacles, this could be you leaving a job to maybe start a business or go to a new one for some of you. And this just denotes that this person comes back around. But with the Four of Cups, a lot of you are not, I don't feel like you're interested in this connection. I feel like this could have maybe soured your stomach when it comes to relationships overall. So this could have been a very painful ending. I'm going to be honest. Yeah. But again, this person, the Knight of Swords, this person is going to fight for this. Like there's going to be an energy based on these cards. This person is going to be very determined to come in and prove themselves, to have this new beginning with you. Now, how you choose to go about this, I can't say. We are asking, do you already know your future spouse? So with these cards coming out, however this turns out, because energy changes, right? However this turns out, I cannot speak on that because each person is different and you may choose to turn your back on this person. But when we're talking about do you know them, then this means that this is going to be your future spouse. How it unfolds, that's neither here nor there. But I can honestly say that this may be something that may take you some time to want to get back into. Because in the first card pull, we have the Eight of Cups ending it, which is walking away from things that no longer serve you, something that has emotionally wounded you. And then in the clarifying cards, we have the Four of Cups and the Ace of Cups. This is like, again, the renewal of like a emotional, it's like an emotional renewal. right? This is the energy of something going from you going basically from being in the Four of Cups, of uninterested in this lover's dynamic, uninterested in having a Ten of Cups with this person, kind of maybe resentful or just, again, detached, to going into the Ace of Cups of a new beginning. But again, with the Knight of Swords, this is going to be something that this person may have to fight for. Now, this could be something you have to fight for if you were the one who essentially took the majority of the blame for how this ended, or you moved away, or you ended things, or you were unfaithful, however it goes. But I do feel like somebody is going to fight for this. And I do feel like for a majority of you, it is the other person. I feel like for all of you, this is the other person, even if this is a new person. But I feel for everyone here, I do feel like this is somebody you know. And again, take it how it resonates, but it's an old friend. It's somebody that maybe you worked with, or it's somebody that you had a relationship or a marriage with. But you would know this person because this type of this lover's energy and all these wands, you would know this. This is the type of passion and attraction and intense kind of soul connection that you cannot, like, you can't avoid this. This is something that even if you don't want to feel it, you can't help yourself, right? This is something where this is like a passionate kind of tempting. There's like a strong temptation here. This is kind of giving like an irresistible type of energy. So maybe by the time this person does come back around, more than likely they will have transformed and changed, right? They will maybe, especially as I stated with the World card and the Star card showing itself in the shuffling process. Yeah, I do feel like maybe this person will have went through a renewal. They could have went through their own spiritual awakening. You could have. I feel like the distance, no matter how this dynamic fits your situation, I do feel like the distance has only maybe made the hearts grow fonder, even if not for you, for them. Because when you have the lovers, again, as I stated earlier, this is two people that choose each other over and over because it's an irresistible kind of tie. Even when you're apart, you could be worlds apart and you feel this person. You can fight it. But oftentimes, with this type of passion and this type of energy and attraction, it's like the more you fight it, the more that the energy grows. Even if this is a situation where you're successful at constantly pushing it away, behind the scenes on an unconscious level, the desire or the attraction for this person is still growing. And it's almost like where you become more conscious of it, you will feel it stronger. But this is definitely something that I feel is destined. I do. And I don't know how you feel about it. For me personally, if I'm being honest, I have had a similar experience like this, or rather, I have a similar experience like this, but I think for each person, like I said in the beginning, you have to kind of go with your own intuition because I don't know how this is going to align. I don't know if this is an old friend, an old colleague, or business partner, or an old, spouse or romantic partner. So I can't say if this is something that is going to be this experience where when it comes back in you're just going to jump head first into it. But based on the clarifying cards, I do feel like it's something where you may put up a bit of a resistance. I do, but I don't feel like this is going to go away, and I don't think it's meant to. This kind of feels like the love of a lifetime. But honestly, with this type of energy, this feels like the type of experience where you go through, as I stated, the world card showing itself. That's like the end of a difficult cycle, a difficult journey with something. But then once the journey ends, it's like there's a new beautiful beginning, right? So I feel like this person may come back transformed. I feel like both of you have transformed. Maybe again, this is kind of giving the right person, wrong time, right? And again, that's neither here nor there because you have to wonder right, wrong, based on that energy, the right person, wrong time dynamics. It's, people go here, people can be on the fence about that because essentially you always meet a person when you're meant to. So maybe you two were meant to come together and separate to maybe focus on your own selves, your own dreams, your own goals, and to grow and transform from the inside out to be better prepared to come back together. Okay, so that's always a possibility here. But for some of you, it may not have been heartbreak. There could have just been a separation and you two have been longing for each other. But this person especially has been longing for you. No matter whom this is to you or who they were to you in the past, this person is desiring you based on these cards in a very, very, very intense way. And with the Knight of Swords coming out at the bottom, yeah, this is somebody's going to come in swiftly. If they haven't already, you could already be back with this person. Because this Wand's energy and this Lovers and this Knight of Swords, that's a lot of fast moving energy. But I'm going to leave it there. And of course, if it resonated on any level that you're aware of, you may feel free to like and subscribe and let me know in the comments if you choose. And if interested, you may return to the channel. There are other topics, videos, and readings there as well. But other than that, thank you for clicking on this video today. Welcome to your reading pile 2 regarding do you already know your future spouse? So I've already pre-shuffled and pulled 5 cards. I'm going to identify the 5 cards that came out and then we will go ahead and get into the reading. So the first card out is the Death card, followed by the 3 of Pentacles. And then we have the High Priestess, followed by the 8 of Pentacles. And then the final card out is the Wheel of Fortune. Bottom of the deck energy is the King of Pentacles. So really quickly, it does not matter if you're male or female, masculine or feminine energy. The messages should apply no matter what. For this group, I'm going to be honest, it's split. However, for a majority of you, this is a newer energy. For the very small select few of you where this may be a past person, we are going to highlight that as well. But I do feel like for the majority of you drawn to this one, definitely a newer energy. So with this group, I'm going to be honest, when this does come in for you, it's going to be sudden with the Wheel of Fortune. It's going to be something that you're not expecting. It could be very synchronistic. I do feel like maybe you will be very focused on yourself. You will have went through a transformation with this Death card. The Death card is about leaving behind the old and embarking on a new journey, the dawn of a new era, which signifies to me that for a majority of you, this means that all the past energy that you've experienced when it comes to romance, you've kind of put that to rest, and there's no energy or a desire to go back to it for a majority of you. And then with the 3 of Pentacles coming out and the High Priestess and the 8 of Pentacles, I do feel like with the King of Pentacles at the bottom, this is someone that you're going to work with. You are more than likely going to be working with this person. You will be collaborating. You may meet at work. You may be building a business together. You could be working on your own business and somehow you cross paths. This could be your boss or a person that helps you along your journey into building your own business. But with all the Pentacles energy out here, I do feel like work is going to be a connection between you and your future spouse. And with the Wheel of Fortune coming out at the end, I do feel like it will be the type of situation where you're both very focused on your dreams and goals, very focused on yourself, especially for my feminine energies drawn to this. You will definitely really be focused on self. Because I did pull 3 clarifying cards. And in the 3 clarifying cards, we got the 4 of Swords, the High Priestess again, and then the Queen of Swords. Bottom of the deck energy is the 9 of Cups. So for masculine and feminines drawn to this, you will be focused on your career and yourself. But especially for my feminines, you may be closed off to love, okay, to the point where you're very guarded, okay? For the masculines drawn to this, I do feel like you may not be focused on love, mostly on just your career, your business, building a business, your finances, building your empire. For my feminines, you'll be focused on that as well, but there will be a lot of personal growth and you're guarded to the point where you may not trust anyone in love. So after transforming with that Death card energy, I do feel like there's been an energy of being closed off to love and really focusing all of your energy on yourself and your own, self growth. But I do feel like when this energy comes in, you will know. There will be no doubt. With the High Priestess energy coming out twice, you're tapped in, or you will be when this person comes in, but you're pouring into yourself, especially with the 9 of Cups coming out. For masculines and feminines, you will be focused on your own happiness. You will have found satisfaction in every area of your life, personal satisfaction, self-love. The 9 of Cups comes before the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is where you have the partner, the home, the family. It's the ultimate wish fulfillment card for that stable home and family life. But with the 9 of Cups, this is where you've created that for yourself. So I feel like for this group, love has to catch you off guard. right? With the Wheel of Fortune, if you knew it was coming, and you may sense it, right, with this High Priestess energy, but if you knew it was coming, you could, again, with that Queen of Swords energy, you could put up a guard. Like you could block it, you could sabotage it, or you could just close yourself off. I do feel like also for this group, this kind of denotes to me as well that when this person comes in for this connection, your head is going to be down in the sense of you will be so focused on work, so focused on building and growing and improving yourself and your own, business or creative endeavors, that this could be a situation where love develops, right? Like you two start to fall in love with each other as you're working with each other, as you're getting to know each other. And it's unsuspected. Like maybe you two will be feeling this energy, but not acknowledging it. And that's going to only cause it to grow that much more. But I feel like there's going to be a sudden realization when you two both realize, you and the other person, that you two are meant to be together. It's going to be sudden and it's going to be shocking. And it's going to happen in a way and unfold in a way where you cannot run from this, or you cannot take your energy and refocus it elsewhere. And I think, again, that has to happen that way because of this group. I think you've been hurt so much in the past and burned so much in love that the thought of giving love another chance, it causes like fear or doubt or concern in you. So you've just completely shut off to the idea of it. Some of you could have given up on love. Some of you could have decided that the idea of opening yourself up to be hurt again and having to transform and go through the process of healing again is just not worth it. So I feel like with this energy, this person is going to prove to you that they're meant to be with you, you're meant to be with them, but you're going to prove this to each other without trying, just by getting to know each other, just by collaborating and working with each other, basically investing in each other in terms of work and this project or this business or whatever this is that you collaborate together on. And it's like you're going to be forced to get to know each other in a very platonic way. And that's going to open up and build trust within both of you for one another. It's going to help you to see that you can work together and create this success in a platonic way. And that's going to build the energy and the idea of helping you to confirm that you can essentially work together and build in a loving, family, compassionate way, to build a family together, to build a legacy together. Because the High Priestess is knows herself. The King of Pentacles, this is somebody that is very loyal. They're faithful. This is a family oriented person. This is somebody that wants to build something stable and solid, very invested in work, but also in whatever they plant their seeds in. Whatever they put seeds in, they want to water it and watch it grow. This is not an in and out type of person. This is a person that makes it clear where they want to put their focus, and they pursue that, and they stay for the long haul. And this is you getting to know this person and understanding that this is who this person is. It's going to allow that love to open. Essentially, you're going to be opened up in a heart space, right? Because I feel like for the feminines, especially, you're not with it. Like you're not with it. I feel like for the masculines, it's the same thing, but I feel like the way that you're handling your detachment from romance is different, right? With the feminines, this is just like where you've made up in your mind, there's no one that can be trusted, so you're just not going to even take the chance again. For the masculines, you may not have actively thought this, right? Like you may not have actively planted this in your mind. Some of you may have. But for your energy, it's like instead of focusing on love or even just closing off from it, you just threw yourself into work. But either way, this is going to be something that's going to develop from a platonic connection of working with each other, getting to know each other without any intentions of being together. And then all of a sudden, it's going to just be something that catches you in a way where you can't resist it, right? The trust that comes from this, the success that you create together, it's going to be something that's going to create a stable foundation that will allow you to let your guard down and to open up to this is going to be a beautiful unfolding, in my opinion. Now, again, I'm going to say really quickly, for those of you where this could be a past person, it is possible for a small select few of you. I say that because with the death card being the ending and kind of healing and transforming from something of the past, and then the Wheel of Fortune coming out at the end, where so that means something can come back around, but in the upright, something comes back around better. Suddenly it's better, it's improved, and now it can, grow fruit and have a quick positive turnout. For the small select few of you where this is a past person, this is something where you've transformed, this person's transformed, and maybe you two meet, synchronistic in work or while working together or while working on yourselves. And this comes back around, and then you two, progress into trying to get to know each other again. So that's very possible. I'm going to highlight that because it comes through and it may apply. But for a majority of you, your spouse, I don't think you know them. Based on this energy, I don't think so. And again, with the energy of your energy being so closed off to love, I doubt that for a majority of you, you're interested in anyone from your past, because I feel like the need to have to transform from that energy that you've experienced, you're not interested in taking the risk again with this someone that has already hurt you, right? Especially considering that you're not willing to take the risk with someone new. You're definitely not willing to take the risk with somebody before this that has already put you through it. If I feel like you've done too much work on yourself, there's too much work here, there's too much progress, there's too much success and victory by the time this comes around. There's too much work, success, and victory that has kind of flourished within your life and within you. You're not willing to, let anyone come in and jeopardize that. So I feel like the universe, the divine, God has to bring love into your life in a very calm, peaceful, slow way. This is Pentacles energy, a lot of it, which means this is something that may grow and unfold very slowly or very gradually. And it's going to be something that's going to unfold in a way where you may not even realize you're falling in love with this person, and they may not realize they're falling in love with you until, boom, with the Wheel of Fortune, it's already done. It's already there. It's something that you cannot avoid, and I like this. This is so I don't know, the energy feels very stable, very safe. I think, again, working with this person will allow you both to, as I stated, drop your guards and feel safe with each other. And that safety, that stability, the idea and the energy of working to collaborate with each other, getting to know each other, and having that foundation already built in a very platonic way, it's going to set the perfect stage for the divine, God, the creator, whatever you believe in, to come in and work their magic on your heart. And I love that for you. So I feel like you're getting love and romance while you're getting paid, right? While you're getting money, while you're focused on your dreams and career. I feel like, this is the energy of where you're going to have it all, but it's going to unfold all at once. But I feel like yours has to take time. Like love literally has to sneak up on you, because if it comes like right in your face, like where you see it coming and you're able to avoid it, you will. So yours is like divinely orchestrated. Like it's destined. With this Wheel of Fortune, you cannot avoid this. This is going to come in one way or the other, right? This is unavoidable, especially with this High Priestess, Queen of Swords, King of Pentacles energy, where you're kind of just focusing your energy elsewhere and you're not even looking in the direction of romance. You're not going to be able to avoid this. I don't care how much you try. It's just synchronistic. It's destined. This is fated for you. So this makes me feel like for this group, your future spouse is somebody that has already been set aside for you, and you've already been set aside for them. Yeah. And I also feel like you two working together to build something, like a business or whatever this is, also will confirm to the both of you that you can build something sustainable even outside of work, even outside of a platonic friendship. But I feel like you're difficult to get close to. Very difficult. It takes time for you to open up and let someone in. So this person is going to, in other words, you're going to be put in a situation where this person is going to be, you're going to let them in, but in a way that's, in your mind's eye, completely unrelated to your heart, right? There's no intentions of romance. So this, yeah, it's almost like God, the divine, they're sneaking this person into your heart, but in a good way. You're going to be happy with that Nine of Cups. I feel like this is something that is going to create a lot of happiness in you. Like your heart is going to be restored, because that's the only Cups energy out here. And then you have the Queen of Swords coming out at the end of that one with the Nine of Cups following it at the bottom. Yeah, this is something that's going to warm you up. It's going to put you in a position where you're going to be open and receptive to love again in a healthy way. It's going to restore not just the self-love that you have for yourself, which obviously you already have done with this transformation by the time this comes in, but there's something about it's almost like your guard is going to come down and you're going to find yourself more relaxed, enjoying life more, enjoying love more, trusting life more, trusting love more, and you're going to have contentment in this connection. You're going to have extreme satisfaction with this person. This is like a slow burn type of love. And again, I love that for you. So I'm going to leave it there. If this resonated, please feel free to like and subscribe. And if interested, you may return to the channel. There are other topics, videos, and readings there as well. But other than that, thank you for clicking on this video today. Welcome to your reading pile 3 regarding do you already know your future spouse? Have you two already met? So I've already pre-shuffled and pulled 5 cards. We're going to identify the 5 cards that came through, and then we will go ahead and get into your message. So the first card out is the Six of Wands, followed by the Emperor. And then we have the Moon card, followed by the Eight of Cups. And then the final card out is the Six of Cups. Bottom of the deck energy is the Two of Wands. So for this group, this one could be a bit of a mixed bag in terms of how the messages apply, but we'll get into that really quickly. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, masculine or feminine energy, the messages should apply no matter what. Now, for this group, for a majority of you, I do feel like this is an energy of you having 2 options to choose when it comes to a future spouse. I do feel like for this group, there's going to be a newer energy that comes in that's more of an emperor energy, very powerful, very magnetic, very much successful. This person could have a small following, or they could just be well known, or they could just, again, be a huge business owner and people know them, but this is with the Six of Wands. This is a very prominent energy, somebody that is the ideal spouse, the ideal partner. And then the other option would be somebody from the past, because we have the Eight of Cups with the Six of Cups at the end, denoting somebody that you walked away from in the past. And then the Two of Wands, potentially that person traveling towards you. Now, I am going to get into the quick message of those of you where this is not 2 people. But for the majority of you, the reason I feel like this does apply to the majority of you is because I did pull 3 clarifying cards for this. Just because it felt like a mixed bag, I wanted some confirmation. And the 3 cards that came out from the other tarot deck was the Two of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. Bottom of the deck energy for that one was the Ace of Cups. Again, Two of Swords energy, being on the fence, having 2 different options, 2 different decisions to make, and not knowing which one to make out of fear of making the wrong decision. And then in the initial card pull, we have the Moon energy at the center of that read between this Emperor energy and this past energy, denoting confusions and fears about not knowing which option is the best. Two of Wands at the bottom of that read, having 2 different paths to choose from and being drawn in 2 different directions and really needing to make a quick decision or feeling the need to make a quick decision, but not knowing which path is better. Right? And in your clarifiers with that Two of Swords, as I stated, it's followed by the Eight of Swords. Again, being in your head, feeling stuck, feeling like you're stuck in your mind of not knowing what is best for you, right? But then there's an Ace of Swords at the end, right? Meaning that you're stuck about a decision that you need to make with this Ace of Cups at the bottom, a new beginning in love. Whose offer do you want to take? Because there's an ace, that's one offer. There's a Ace of Cups energy there. Then with the Ace of Swords energy, this is a decision. So it's like one decision for one person. But with the Two of Swords and the Two of Wands in the previous bottom of the deck, there's 2 different paths and 2 different decisions to make here. And with this Moon card out here, you may be confused. So for those of you, I'm going to say this quickly. If there is a past person that you know without if you have no ex or nobody from your past, not a friend that you know that you've known, that is possible to come back around, or that you under no circumstance would even consider being on the fence about choosing, then in your case, for the small select few of you where that may apply, this would suggest that this is potentially a new person with this Emperor. However, because of maybe their position, their power, their authority, and then the energies that you've experienced in the past of betrayal, you may be on the fence about accepting this person's offer or expanding and moving forward with this energy. which would mean for that small group of you, you don't know this person. But for a majority of you, this does feel like there's an option needing to be made here. So this is a person, for those of you where that applies, where if this past energy is more than likely somebody where you grew apart, life may have taken you in two different places. One of you may have relocated and moved away for work or for school or for whatever, to get a degree. And essentially, maybe there's always kind of been some unfinished business there, or maybe there's been some what ifs in the air about what could have been, because maybe you two didn't end in the most awful way or the most toxic way. So it could have always been like this lingering energy there from a distance. But I do feel like with this specific group, there may be some epiphany, right, with this Ace of Swords. Like while you're in your head, while you're weighing the pros and cons, while you're kind of stuck and there's a concern about making the wrong decision, with this Ace of Swords, maybe you get clarity, you get an epiphany, after doing a lot of weighing the pros and cons, or maybe there's some sort of information that comes to the light at that point where you're able to, with this Ace of Swords, make a clear decision, be firm in that decision, know exactly who's the right person. And then at the bottom of the deck with the Ace of Cups, you're able to take an offer and move forward with that person. And then that person becomes your future spouse, whether you choose the past person or the new person. To be fair, I do feel like a lot of you will choose the newer energy with that Emperor, where this is two different people. I do feel like you may choose the Emperor because I do feel like obviously the Emperor energy, this is somebody that you may be with when this old person comes back. And I feel like you will have experienced this Emperor energy. I feel like this is a person that you will feel safe with, protected with, and you will love. But again, some of you could choose the past person, right? Because again, distance does make the heart grow fonder. That's why I said it's not a personal one-on-one reading. This is for multiple people. So some of you may go with the past person because your heart may be pulling you in that direction. Because again, with the distance, it's only caused this desire to grow. And maybe you felt like this person would never come back around. And then they do. And then you may realize that your desire for them has been lingering all these years because that's the person your heart wants, even though this newer option is great, right? So again, it really just depends on where this falls for you at that point or how you know your situation at this point. But when it comes down to the wire, I feel like these may be two great options, right? I don't really feel like you can lose depending on whoever you choose. I don't, because I don't feel like this, you would be on the fence or have these confusions and lack of clarity about choosing one over the other if this past person was somebody that was an absolutely no go, right? Like there's nobody from your past where you would be like, oh, yeah, this is somebody that is such a great option that it has me in my head about this person I'm with. If that were the case, I don't feel like you would struggle with this. So then you would know that this is a newer energy coming in, but your past issues with this person your past issues with other people will create some stagnancy here, right? And if this is a new person that's transformed and they've come back around and you already know them, there could be some fears, obviously, as mentioned, where maybe past energy, you don't trust them. You feel like they're tricking you or it's an illusion because they seem too good to be true. But I feel like whoever this emperor is, whether this is a newer person or past person, I feel like this person's going to feel too good to be true anyway, right? I feel like for this, with the Six of Wands and Emperor, like that's the ideal partner. This is a very attractive, passionate, powerful, authoritative, structured, loyal, faithful, successful energy. This is a person that you do want to build a home with, right? But I do feel like if this past person has you on the fence, then this is definitely somebody where they might have been a right person at the wrong time, or take it how it fits. But I do feel like either way, you know this person. For those of you where this is an option, this is, have you met them? One of them, if this is the person you choose, right? So there could be an option between somebody that you don't know yet and an option between somebody that you have met. So for those of you where this does come up and you choose that past person, then yes, you have already met your future spouse, right? You already know them. For those of you where you do run into the situation and you choose this emperor, this newer energy, then no, you have not met your future spouse yet. But I feel like for you, have you already met them? And if you already know them, it's going to really depend on who you end up choosing that Ace of Swords energy and Ace of Cups energy with. Who you end up choosing to have this new beginning in love, to build to a Ten of Cups, who you plan to build an empire and a home and family with. you know. And again, not to make those that may fall in the smaller category feel left out. Yeah, this could be a newer person, but like I said, even if this person is this wonderful emperor archetype, there's still going to be some concerns and fears there that are going to have you in your head, right? But I feel like with the Ace of Swords, as I stated, in the Ace of Cups, you're going to find clarity and you're going to make the right decision to move forward with this person. But again, I spoke mostly about the decision because for a majority of you, yeah, I just feel this strongly. I do. Two of Wands, yeah, two different directions. Two of Swords, two decisions. You have the Moon card and you have the the Eight of Swords. Confusion, feeling stuck, not being able to see clearly, wearing rose-colored glasses. But the good news is, like I said, you're going to find that clarity. You're going to make the decision, and I feel like you're going to make the right decision. Whether this is you choosing to open yourself up to this newer person and have this beautiful beginning, or whether this is you choosing a past person or a new person or a past person, and having a new beginning with this, and it doesn't matter. I feel like you're going to make the right choice based on these cards. And I feel like you're going to be satisfied with that Ace of Swords. You're gonna know within your heart and your mind with the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. Ace of Swords is about mental clarity. This is in our mind, and then the Ace of Cups is in our heart. Your mind and your heart are going to be in alignment about whatever you choose regarding your future spouse. So for some of you, yes, you know them if you choose this past energy. And for those of you, again, you choose this Emperor, you have not met your future spouse yet. This one's quite interesting. So I do wonder if this may be one of the more popular groups out of the three, because the other two, yeah, there was potential for those to have a little bit of a mixed bag, but they were a bit more straightforward. This one, again, is kind of making me feel like I'm on the fence, right? With the Two of Wands and the Two of Swords energy, that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling this energy of feeling stuck in a sense and kind of looking at in two different paths. And that's why I said I feel like you may be a very well sought after person. Even if you don't feel that way now, by the time you meet your future spouse, I do feel like you're somebody that is gonna, attract a lot of energy, right? But I do feel like they're going to be, out of all of these people that may desire you, there's going to be this person that you choose or this person that you want to choose, this emperor, and then there's going to be this past person. I don't feel like you're going to be stuck beyond these two people, right? Two of Wands, Two of Swords, I don't see it. I see two specific people that are going to have your attention, and one's going to call you from a nostalgic point of history and unfinished business with them, and one is going to call you from who you are at that point and who you have been allowed to be able to see them as this Emperor and Six of Wands energy. But it looks like you have two great choices, so I don't want to get too repetitive here. But obviously, if this resonated on any level that you're aware of, you may feel free to like and subscribe and let me know in the comments if you choose. And if interested, you may return to the channel. There are other topics, videos, and readings there as well. But other than that, you have a great day.